Hi guys. Okay, we're back. And this is attempt number 2 at being back. The other video is uploading right now. That only took about 20 minutes. But as I had started the, my hair is a mess. As I had started the WIP parade for this next part, I couldn't find my parents' chatelaine. Like, it was not in the bag. I was in freak out mode. Like, guys, I almost called the, not really, okay, this is way over dramatic. I almost was going to say that I almost called the cops to report the theft of this cross stitch. But I found it. Anyway, so I stopped recording because I had originally just left it running as I ran to check where I thought it would be. And then it wasn't there. And then it turned out it was there because it didn't look well enough. And anyway, so we're going to attempt to this. Okay. So, first up is my nephews. I showed this last night. But this is a WIP parade. And so all the WIPs must be shown. Except for the dogs. And I am hoping to finish this in the next week or two. So, that's where it's at. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yep, 6 characters left to do. Well, next I will show my parents, which is the Serengeti mandala from Chatelaine. And this is being stitched on 28 count. And this is where it's at. I absolutely love this piece. Okay, the piles are too big, so it's blocking the bars. Okay. So that's where that's at. I would like to finish parts 1 and 2 of this year. But this is the year I'm stitching selfishly. I am beading as I go. Crafty Lisa asked about stitch count for chatelaines, and I seriously really do recommend 28 count for chatelaines because you don't have to... No! Ah! Okay. Well, it fell over. You don't have to mess around with the beads. They fit perfectly like they're supposed to. And so, Lisa, if you're watching this, which you probably aren't, but if you are, I really recommend 28 count. You don't have to try to squeeze them and leave some out to try to make them fit. For my sister Alex, we have the Dressmaker's Daughter from Mirabilia. I am stitching this on the called for fabric. It has started to soften up a bit. That's all that I've done, and I have not been marking off the chart, so I probably need to, as it is getting more difficult to keep track of where I'm at. Next, we have the London Gardens chatelaine that I am doing for my sister Jo. And this is on some dyed fabric. And I cannot see through this fabric at all, so I am hoping that it is in frame and that you can see it all. I have 1 mini garden left to finish, and I would love to finish that this year and possibly this whole part. But we are stitching selfishly. It is the year of Kate. I do what I want. And so it will get worked on, but for how long and how many stitches, that remains to be seen. And a final chatelaine is the one for my sister Kirsten. This is the first chatelaine I ever started. And it's not on hand dye fabric, which I think is fine for it. This is the Paris Gardens chatelaine mandala. And I think it is gorgeous. So I would love to finish this part as well, if I can. But we will see. Oh my gosh. Ew. Ew. That was a dead bug. That was gross. Okay. Continuing on with what's in these bags. So this is the 2017 Linens and Threads. I am doing it with a hand-dyed silk 1/1 on 28 count, and I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I have not done much, but I am loving how it looks. So next up we have I believe it's called Under the Sea. It was a sal by Doreen Jones for Lakeside Needlecraft. That's all I've done. And that's an octopus. So I really need to work on this. This is a Mirabilia that I am doing for myself. It is a portrait of Veronica. I love her. I view her as one of my Slytherin ladies. And I have been working on the black on her. She does have a Slytherin needle minder. So that's where I'm at. A lot of black on her dress. And I have been stitching this one in hand. That may change soon, but for now, that's how she goes. This one is Quotes to Live by Stitchrovia. I barely have a start on this, so I obviously need to put a lot more work into it, as I do love this one. This one is the fantasy one, I believe. What are you called? Yeah, Fantasy Stitch Along, also by Doreen Jones. I am stitching this on a sparkly fabric, but I barely have it started. But I love it. So, would love to work on that some more. That's the problem with the WIP parade. You see everything and you're like, I want to work on that more. I want to work on that more. Yeah. That's what... Oh my gosh. That's why there's so many WIPs, because you want to work on all of them. Okay, this is one I may end up abandoning. And that is the Haid Mystery Sal 2017. I did get the exclusive hand-dyed silken colors, and I did get the color that Bob did. And this is what I've done so far, and I do like that. It's just the rest of the design I'm not positive about. I love these flowers. I love this vine. So I may continue with it. I'm not positive. We'll see. I almost never abandon things, so we'll probably continue with it, but I don't know. For now, it's in here. The wildflower one that she said she was going to do, and I don't know if that's still in the plans. That one sounds beautiful, though. What are you? Okay, a Carolyn Manning. Granny is No Square, the first one, so not the second one, which I have in my stash of projects to start. But here's where we're at on Granny is No Square, so a lot more to be done. And so some of these sals, these are things that I'm hoping to fit in for the new starts. Because I can start a part and have that as a day start. Okay, this is the Happily Ever After from Clouds Factory. This is where I'm at on that. So, still working on border, but I love it. And then here we have, what did she call this one? Yuletide Garden Labyrinth from Carolyn Manning. And I love this one. It was the first Carolyn Manning. I obviously did not center it correctly, as there's all this fabric over here, but maybe I'll be able to find a use for that, ornaments or something. But that's all I've done, and I would obviously like to work more on that. Okay, let's look at this pile over here. Okay, so Giant Harry Potter. This is one I've considered restarting on 28 count because there are some partial stitches. But I think the partial stitches are just at the top. And then I'm also worried about any white not showing up on the fabric. But I probably won't because I don't want to stitch the banners. I need to get past the banners, so that's where that's at. And I would like to use this one for as many of the challenges in my group as possible. Does this have any 934? No, it doesn't. I need to do 300 stitches in color 934 for one of the challenges. This is the Monster. Here's the fabric all folded up for the World Wonders. And let me see if I can get to... there it is. Let me just wrangle this fabric really quick. I did do almost 200 stitches last night on my 4th page start. So here's where it's at. There's 4 pages in here. And yeah, I'm really actually loving working on this. Despite this fabric obviously being a monster to contain. So here we go, folded up nicely, and apparently at some point it stole some black. And oops. That's where that is at. Okay. North Pole Sal from Tempting Tangles. I have only part of the first part done. This is an opalescent 14 count, and I think it's going to be extra pretty once it's done. You here, and you here. His hands that I am doing for my dad. And here is where I am at on that. So, I am starting to actually get to the hands. Here are some black work ones that I started in Mania this last year. And I would like to ultimately finish these. I think that they could easily fit into my 18 finishes. So there's this one. This black one is almost done. This red and green and yellow Christmassy one is almost done. There's that one, and then this one is done. I gave it way more room than it needed. Oh well. But so, I think potentially there are 4 finishes for this year. If I could just get my act in, my butt in gear or whatever. Do I have both in here? Yes. So, mini, not the mini Christmas Sal stitch along. I don't have a picture of it all finished. So, this is from Armada Designs. Here's where I'm at. I don't think it would be a big deal to finish it. So, maybe I can get that one done. And here is the mini Valentine's one. And this is another one that I think if I really worked on it, I could just knock it out. This is the Santa that I need to finish for my boyfriend for his Christmas gift this year. And then while I'm at it, because it's here and I can show you guys, this is the one I will be doing for next Christmas. So I would like to start that relatively soon so I'm not in like a time crunch like I am now. Well, by time crunch now, I mean like didn't even meet the deadline. Put that over here. Okay, this is Halloween Rules. I'm doing it on some tea coffee dyed. Here's what it will all look like completed. And let me take off this top one up here. Here is where I am at. So I'm working on the second one. So I'm planning on using each of the parts as part of the new starts. I also have the Christmas rules and then the Christmas spell out that I would also like to do as the part of the new starts each month. Okay. What is in this box? Yep, thought so. These I would like to finish as well, and they are the monthly cottages. So there are 2 that have not been started at all yet, and then the rest are in WIP process. So this is June. Nope, not June, sorry, August. This is August. This one is September. So I finished the main part of the building. This one is October. This one is November. And this one is December. And the 2 I have not started yet are June and July. So I really need to get going on those if I'm going to have them to display them each month. I have another box here. Yep, I thought so. This one is the Plum Street 12 Days of Christmas that I'm doing in DMC Satin. And I do have this from Kimberly that she gave me and said it will help straighten out these threads a lot. So here's where I'm at. And I'm hoping with the help of that, I will be able to make much further progress on that this year. Let's finish up this bag over here. I think we have a couple of things in here. Let's see. We do. We have Tea with Jane from Pedal Pusher. And that's what it looks like. And hang on. Here's where I'm at. I cut it really close with the fabric. But I think it looks good. So, sticking it back. Then we have the Sense and Sensibility sampler, also from Pedal Pusher. And I am doing this on some 28 count vintage country mocha. And this is where I'm at on that. Okay, so those go back in here. And the last one in this bag is the Brooks books. This is the layout I have decided on. So I moved them all around. Not that that's relevant at this point, but because all I have done is work the checkerboard across the top. So here's where that's at. So I really want to work more on this because I think they're absolutely beautiful when completed. Okay, continuing. Okay, here we have the green version of red from Mirabilia. Here's red. And this is what the green version looks like. And it was done by the Evergreen Stitcher. She's here on Flosstube. And here is where I am at on her so far. So I would love to put more work into her. She's one of the ones that's for me. So I would really like to work significantly on her this year. Next we have a conversion of the Winter Celtic Lady that I will be doing. Wait, what are you? Oh, okay. Good thing I saw this. It was more instructions to go with the green conversion of red, and I do not want to lose those. here is where I am at on that. So, just part of her dress. This one is my class schedule Sal. I know a lot of people hate it. I don't actually hate it. Especially having seen it completed. Now I saw someone who did it basically as charted, and the only thing they added was the professors' names, and I might do that because I thought that turned out really great. But here is where I am at on that, and I would like to continue that this year. I do wish that instead of Ada that this had come with even weave, because there are some partial stitches and I hate splitting threads on even weave. Next up we have Main Street Sal. I still have not received one of the patterns I paid for like months ago, so I need to complain to her again. So frustrating. Oh, I worked on this during bingo. That's why. So I've started the second-hand store. I absolutely love it. And really want to put some time into this. Here is the this is the one that, why is my needle minder on the wrong fabric then? Here's where I'm at on the Christmas Quaker 2. It's still a bit stiff, but I think more manageable, so I may just continue at it. We'll see if I change it to that 14 count black that I got. No, sorry, 28 count black Monaco. This one is the Lantern Lane. Love it. And this is where I've gotten to. So a lot to do still. It's stitched on 32 count Country Vintage Mocha. In general, with regards to fabric, I'm okay doing 2/2 on 32 count. If there are no beads. If there are beads, I only do it on 28 count, and usually 28 count is my preference anyways. Okay, this one is a full coverage. It's that, it's a Tilt and Craft up on the rooftop, and that's all I've done. Because this fabric is stiff, so I may restart it on some of that 18 count Ada. That's not stiff. This one is the U.S. Presidents from Cloud's Factory, and I really love it on this 28 count mushroom even weave. I love this one. So would love to work some more on it. I just finished yesterday Eliza Hamilton. And that was, I gave it a 3 stars on Goodreads. It was okay. It wasn't my favorite because she was not my favorite. She was kind of annoying. Okay, Spring Quilt from the 5 seasons of quilts. And here is where I am at. I do have fabric for all of the seasons, and I would love to start them all. Did I actually put in a few stitches on one of the other seasons? Apparently on Summer Quilt, I think I may have put in actually just 4 stitches. Yeah, 4. So, doing the year of starts, it's kind of frustrating that I did that because I can't count it as a new start because there are technically 4 stitches in there. So, oh well. Okay, that's one more box. So I need to move that. Okay, continuing. We have the Tinkerbell from Creatively Crafting, her Disney series. Tinkerbell is the only one that I have started, but I do plan to start them all. So we'll put that here. Oh, here's the other, in the other video I talked about having restarted Lovers from 90 Thomas, and here it is. So, need to work on this one because I do love it. Sorry, sticking this needle back in. What's in here? Nothing anymore. Okay. These are ones from Northern Expression. So here is the one Twisted Rainbow, I believe, that I have started in the DMC. And I do like that. I did not leave a lot of border space up there at the top. And then I also have that one might be Twisted Band. I don't remember. I have Twisted Rainbow or Twisted Band, whichever one, started on black. And I do believe that that is the left corner up there. And I am doing that one in these Thread Pickers Silk Pack that I got a few years ago. Here's the one for each band. And then I have that other one that I already started. Also doing it in a Thread Pickers. This one is called Ocean Depth. And I love these colors, which is why I restarted it in this. I will be finishing the other one, but I couldn't not do this one. That's where I'm at. So, yeah, I'm excited to go back to those. It is on black, so that makes it a little more challenging. It ups the game a little bit. I like to finish this box and then I'll have to do one more upload. So the one for my boyfriend, and here is where I am at. It says, loved you yesterday, love you still, always have, always will. This is the One Nation. And I am doing this in DMC, but this is the leftover fabric from my sister's chatelaine, and I think it's beautiful on that. So I've started stitching the stars. And then I will finally get to stitch the names of the states. And this is from Bygone Stitches. Okay. Oh, here is another cottage. Which one are you? May. I do have it in so that I can carry it around and work on it. So here's where May is at. This one is, which one are you? Cinderella from Brooks Books. Here's just the black and white prints out of it. And here is where I am at. Like this? Yeah, like this. So a lot to do. I do have all of the Krynic for it, and there's quite a bit. This one is Storytime Sampler that I decided to restart on this red fabric. It's Poinsettia from Fiberlicious. I am still possibly questioning my fabric choice, but whatever. We'll go with it. I think it looked dramatic. We have Esther's Wave from Northern Expressions, and I am doing a blue. It's a conversion. Here are the colors that are in it. So it's very beautiful. Maybe kind of like Ocean's Wave. And I've completed one Jessica band, and I'm working on the second band. I have not done any of the beads because there are 1.5 billion beads in here. So I would love to work on this some more this year. Long Dog Samplers, Castles in the Air. This is what it is charted as. And here is where I am at on it. I'm doing it with white on this lovely fabric. So I love this one. The pattern can be a bit hard to read, to tell you the truth, because the back stitching is not always super clear. And so sometimes I kind of guess at it. We're almost done with this box, and then I will cut it short, and I have one other massive box to do. Okay, so this one is my restart of Around the World in 80 Stitches. Here it is. And I work on this during world sporting events. So World Cup, Olympics, that type of thing. And it is a restart of one that I had started previously, and the fabric just got messed up, but I am using the same colors, and I am really happy with how that looked. Oh, and that was also back before I knew about putting tape. Don't do that. So, I am glad to know I'm happy with the color choices, though. So. Okay, what are you? This one is a Mill Hill kit, one of the Magi trilogy, Balthazar, and I don't have so much done on him. This one is for my mom and dad. This one is the Nunavut Santa from Mill Hill for my sister Kirsten, and I am working on the final color of cross stitch, and then it's bead time. This one is a Mill Hill kit for me. It's called Tango. It's an owl. That's what it looks like. And that's where I'm at. And look at that adorable needle minder. I love it. I love owls. Do I have all 6 of these? If I don't have all 6, I have most of them. And the final thing in this box is Miranda from Mill Hill. I am stitching this on 14 count black Aida for my aunt, and here's where she is at. So a lot more to do with that. I store a lot of my projects in these, and I have a cube that has 4 spaces where I can stick these. So if you were wondering about my storage system, I do that for a lot of things. Okay, I'm going to stop this here, get it loaded onto my computer so I can free up the space and do a final part. And then eventually I will do my non-stitchy WIPs. So I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.